Hi, I'm Scott Wilson from Geek Certified. Pleasure to be here. So I'm an internet marketer and I specialize in e-commerce. And what I try to do is I try to help business owners and web marketers grow their business to new levels of success.
Right. I think your presentation was perhaps one of the most important because you spent a lot of time talking about SEO and you gave us what you call your secrets to SEO. Can you just briefly explain what SEO is and why it's so important?
Sure. Search engine optimization is extremely important because at the moment in time somebody wants a product or a service, they search for it.
Right.
And if someone already had a particular company in mind, they would just go to that company and they would just use the company that they're familiar with. Right. So when you look at all of the search queries that are going on for particular products, that's essentially a customer up for grabs.
Right.
Some people are excited about social media for e-commerce, and yes, social media does work. But the way I like to look at search as it's intention-based marketing. At the moment in time, if somebody breaks their eyeglasses, they do a Google search for eyeglasses for sale or eyeglasses and so forth, and then they find it. If someone's dishwasher breaks, they actually do a Google search for dishwasher, and then they find who sells it. They find the best product for the best price, and they make a transaction.
Right.
So essentially, it's intention-based marketing, and it's a fantastic way to grow your market share.
Okay, and for persons who, because Jamaica is not as advanced as where you're from in terms of having our own websites for our own businesses, do you think it's important then for businesses to be online and to have their own online platform? Is that something you'd encourage?
Absolutely. There's a year-over-year shift from people purchasing from traditional brick-and-mortar retail to purchasing online, and that shift continues to grow. And so what we're seeing is a future where there won't be brick-and-mortar stores anymore.
Right.
People will make their decisions online and have the product shipped directly to their homes.
Yeah.
And so it's important to start that migration and that way of thinking as people are starting to shift their purchasing behavior. It's important to match that. So all of the traditional stores should create a website, and they should make their products available online through different portals like Coolmarket, like Amazon, eBay, and some of the others. And also, I believe it's important that you own your own website. Business owners should have their own website. They don't want to just rely on third-party websites.
Right.
They want to own their own website that's e-commerce enabled, so they can sell their product directly to consumers.
Right. Oh, sorry. Right. So when it comes to digital trends, why do you think technology has shifted consumer behavior? Because you said the first thing persons do is they go online and do the search. Why do you think, is it a convenience thing? Why do you think customer behavior has shifted? And what does that actually mean for, as you said, brick and mortar stores?
It's really quite simple. Consumer behavior is shifting because of convenience.
Right.
When I grew up, we didn't have computers, the internet didn't exist. If I was curious about something on the weekend, I had to wait till my library day. At my school it was Friday, and then I had to go through the rows and try to find the book and open the drawers and use the Dewey Decimal System, and then flip through the table of contents and then find the page and read just to get my question answered.
Right.
And so now, when someone's curious, they simply do a Google search for it right from their phone at the moment in time they're curious. That's simply more efficient.
Right.
Now, not long ago, there was a time where if somebody wore glasses and they knew that, hey, in the next few months, I should get a new pair of glasses. Mine are wearing out. Maybe you have some insurance that pays a portion of it. So there was a time where people would look at an ad in a newspaper. They would actually cut it out with scissors. They would use a magnet and they would stick it on the fridge. And in fact, fridge magnets were a thing. People don't do that anymore because they know that on the day that I need glasses, I can search for glasses. On the day my dishwasher breaks, I can search for and purchase a new dishwasher. So it's simply more convenient. The other thing is when you drive to a brick and mortar store, you have to park, you go in, you hope that the clothes that you like are there, you hope that they fit, that they're in stock, whether it be clothing stores, we talked about fashion today, whether it be other types of products. The point is it takes time to drive there, to choose, to drive it back home, Whereas when you can find it online, you know it's in stock. A lot of the online orders are shipped very quickly, so it arrives at your home very quickly, and you don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to carry the product. You don't have to park. You don't have to basically do all that. So it's simply very convenient, and people like the convenience, and that's why you're seeing more and more people choose to purchase the products online.
Right. In terms of, I know your thing is SEO, but I think you may be able to speak to this. In terms of customer service, how important is, because it's all well and good to be ranked and have a good ranking on Google, but how important is customer service to your online business? Because that also counts towards your ranking, depends on how much people review and the kind of review that you have. That's also a part of the whole SEO ranking. So how important is that for your online business?
Well, customer service is more important online than it is in brick and mortar. And the reason for that is that when people are angry and upset about something, they tend to write a bad review. When people are happy with things, they don't really bother to take the time to write a good review. So the thing is, it doesn't take long for a business to rack up poor reviews, and we know that reviews matter. Good reviews mean that you'll get more sales. Poor reviews mean you get less sales. So it's important to engage with the customers, have fantastic customer service, and more importantly, in order to get good reviews, you have to politely ask for them.
Right.
You don't have to ask for a bad review. Those will just show up if you make a mistake.
Right.
Okay. If you do make a mistake, it's best to own it. The internet's transparent. Try to fix it. But if you never ask a happy customer for a review, it's really hard to build reviews as part of your business. The other thing is, it's not too late to go back. You can go back to a customer that purchased from you 6 months or even a year ago and say, hey, I'm calling to find out if you're happy with the product you purchased from this. And if they say yes, just say, hey, nobody's reviewed that product. We'd really appreciate it if you could review it. And the nice thing is when you own your own website, you can actually have somebody give you a review over the phone, or they can email you their review, and then you can actually publish it on your website using what I talked about earlier, which is called schema. And you can mark it up essentially with review schema, with the aggregate code. The rich snippet will be published, and essentially you're now getting the 5 stars in a Google search. For products like Google My Business, formerly Google Places, a person has to have a Gmail, and they have to basically write the review themselves. So in some cases, you won't be able to write it on behalf of a customer, but in other cases, you can actually, if they deliver you a positive review, you can actually publish it. It's a self-published review.
Right. And in terms of reviews, I know you did mention that video reviews have better hits than just regular text-based reviews, because you were talking about doing the experiment where you tested video as opposed to non-video. So how important do you think video content is for your website and in terms of helping you rank?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Those videos are video testimonials,
right?
And essentially, you can't use a review schema on the video. However, by embedding these customer testimonials on the page that you sell, it may lead to more traffic. It's possible that you pick up traffic through YouTube and they click through to your website. But the big thing we're trying to do isn't really boost the traffic. It's try to increase your percentage of conversions. And so what that study that I did with Brad Geddes, which is published in his book, Advanced AdWords, that study shows that when you had real-life customer video reviews, and in our best results, we had 9 different people give a very specific review on the product, we had a huge lift in sales. So what that meant is that of the people that are on your website, a higher percentage of them chose to purchase from you as opposed to purchase from a rival or just not purchase at all. And so that's huge. That's what we call a conversion.
Is that an indication to you that even though we are online, people still value human opinions, human interaction, so they see somebody else talking about it, and it acts as social proofing, and it's better because you're hearing the person, you're seeing the person, you can see if the person is genuine or not being genuine, and that's better than actually writing. So there's still a human component there.
That's a fantastic insight. I've been telling my customers to humanize the internet experience since I started internet marketing. If you can have a more human experience, people are tired of just being a number. People are tired of, they don't want to buy from an entity where they just don't, it's a numbered company, or it's some website where there's no pictures, there's no staff, there's no name, there's no CEO behind the brand. People don't want to purchase from that type of an entity. the more you can connect with the customer, the more that you can humanize that experience. The more, if an owner of a business can, through the internet, in the comfort of someone's home, look into a camera and in a way look into that person's eyes and say, I care about my product, I love what I do, I care about my service, and I care about you, my customer. If that is conveyed, you will get more sales than your rival page that just has a picture and a price and no other information. So
Right.
absolutely humanize that experience to get higher levels of conversions, which essentially is what we call a sale.
Right, because you did mention a Plato quote, which I'm totally stealing, where it says the person who tells the stories is that controls the society.
Yeah,
is that a part of it?
Yes, so Plato had said hundreds of years ago, those who tell the stories rule society.
Right.
And so what I say is those who tell the stories rule the market share,
Right.
which means that you'll sell more of your products than your rivals.
Right.
So we have to tell good stories. The beautiful thing about the internet is it allows a small business with a small amount of resources, and those resources could be money, those resources could be the number of people that are working on the product
Right.
or the service offering. The point is the internet empowers us to more efficiently communicate our story to our potential customers at the moment in time they're looking for a product or service.
Awesome. One last question.
Okay.
If you were to give, what is the number one advice you'll give SEO advice? The simplest, easiest, most effective SEO advice you can give. What would that be?
That's really tough. That's really
It's a
tough.
lot. I'm asking you to condense into one.
There's really no one thing.
Right.
So I'm going to have to give a few answers.
Sure.
Number one is, although I said content isn't king, in a way content is king. You just want to make sure the content is optimized for the language that your customers are using.
Right.
And that's very, very important. So choose the keywords that the customers are searching for, and we can do that through the Moz tool and through Google Trends.
Right.
So that's really important. Number two is receiving links from people that like your
Backlinks.
business and do business with. You
Right.
want them to link to you,
Right.
and the way to get that is to ask for that. You can't buy links, that's against Google's terms of service,
Yeah.
and they'll actually penalize your website if you get caught.
Definitely.
So you have to actually ask for links from the people you're doing the business. That is how you get the trust. So if you have Google Trust, but you don't have content that resonates with your customers, that doesn't do you any good. If you have content that resonates with your customers but no Google Trust, that doesn't do you any good. And the final thing is, when Google launched mobile first indexing, you can have links from other businesses. So Google trusts your web page. You can have content that resonates with your potential customers. But if you fail that Google Page Speed Insights link that I showed everyone
Right,
today,
yeah.
if you get a poor score, then you're still not going to have your website rank for the products that you sell. So really, there's no one answer. It's unfortunately not that simple. But if you focus on your content, if you focus on being on the receiving end of links, and if you focus on
Mobile
passing
responsiveness.
the mobile responsive tool, trying to get as high a score as you can, if you focus on those two things, that's a good foundation to start with.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you talking to me.